As a woman in her 40s, pivoting her career and lifestyle, I rely heavily on favor and flow. I'm no stranger to a good work ethic, hustle, and grind, but for this part of my life, I prefer to operate in a way that reduces the stress and busyness of daily life. I'm a mother of four, a wife, and an entrepreneur, so I'm also no stranger to being a servant leader, often given more than what I'm getting in return. Now, as I lean more into my faith, slow down my flow, and prioritize gratitude, I'm attracting more of what I need exactly when I need it. Although I want to accomplish so much more and fully live out the lifestyle I imagine for myself, right now I'm taking opportunities as they come and praying that I am properly equipped to attract and manage all of the blessings headed my way. Good morning, friends. Welcome in. My name is Shannon, and this is my channel, Shannon the Fifth. And here we discuss all things womanhood, from lifestyle to wellness to motherhood and career. We talk about it here. So if those things interest you, then welcome in. Come on and have a seat. So the start of this video, sorry it's jumpy. I'm in the car, obviously. The start of this video is a little bit different because I'm doing something a little bit different. Besides the fact that I actually have on real clothes for the first time and makeup for the first time, I'm actually going to experience a big part of my pivot for the first time. So I'm on my way to a maternity event at a hospital in my area, and it's all about the Black maternal mortality crisis, which is what my company, the Fifth Curve, focuses on. So this will be my first time really being in a professional setting where I get to learn more about the space that I'm trying to be very much integrated in, as well as contribute to the space that I'm going to be very much integrated in. So there's a host of emotions happening. There's nervousness, there's excitement, there's a lot of anticipation. There's a lot of feelings going on about this opportunity. But more importantly, or most importantly, I'm just very grateful that this opportunity came my way. I think that when you pray about things and you're in alignment with things, everything shifts to bring you more of what you need when you need it. So this opportunity came in a very interesting way. But nonetheless, I'm grateful for it. So I don't know if the hospital will let me capture footage because obviously privacy reasons. But if I can, I will insert it. If not, then I'll give you a summary of the rest of my day and what I learned from this event and how it's helping me in the pivot of my career. So talk to you in a bit.
It's Saturday morning. As Jalen said, I am Michelle Simmons. I am the Executive Director of the American Heart Association here in Hampton Roads, and it's really truly my honor to welcome you all. Facing probably one of the biggest crises of our time, and that's where we're seeing in 2025 that Black women are dying at rates 3 times their counterparts. When we think about that, I mean, if you just stop and think about that, that means a Black woman is likely to die in pregnancy more than appendicitis, more than flu, more than a car accident, even gun violence, which is a huge problem in our society. And yet a Black woman who is supposed to be in an episode of giving life is now faced with a life and death situation.
Good morning. Happy Sunday. It is the day after the event. This is obviously a completely different day in video compared to yesterday. I'm going to recap it and I'm going to talk about it along with some other things. I'm not typically used to doing vlog style videos, so this is kind of new for me. But there's so much I want to talk about the event I went to yesterday and just some other things. So I need to go to the store to go get dog food. So it's the perfect time to kind of talk about what happened yesterday. All right. So yesterday was phenomenal. It was my first live event in the doula space. Like, in the space of career 2.0 in my whole lifestyle pivot, it was my first event there. It was the first time I was presenting myself to the world in this capacity and participating in a mass, I'm trying to straighten everything out, sorry guys, in a mass format setting. Hold on, I feel like my head is getting cut off. Hold on. All right. This might be a little bit better. I obviously don't have the right setup for a car because I'm not a vlog channel. Anyway, let me hold on. I'm going over a speed bump. So the event was at a local hospital and it was sponsored by the American Heart Association, and it was focusing on Black maternal health as it relates to cardiovascular disease and overall heart challenges or heart issues for women, but specifically related to childbirth, pregnancy, childbirth, postpartum. And some of the stats that they shared about heart disease or cardiovascular disease and pregnancy were just like astounding, because there isn't a lot of conversation around heart disease and the challenges as it relates to pregnancy. I know I haven't heard a lot of conversation about it, especially in the Black community. Maybe there are conversations around cardiovascular disease and maternal health in other communities, but in the Black community, I haven't really heard that. I haven't really heard that. So it was great to get that information and to just be in the room with specialists who are trying to not only spread that information, but figure out a way to combat it when it happens or prevent it before it happens. So it's great to be in that space. But that space particularly included doulas, midwives, healthcare practitioners such as doctors and nurses. There were, nonprofit organizations that focus on birth work. It was just such a fulfilling environment with specialists who had so much to contribute to understanding health in women, but namely Black women. So being in that space, I got to participate as a learner, which is my favorite way to participate, because you just listen and absorb so much information. And I also got to participate as kind of like my unofficial launch pad for my work with my company, The Fifth Curve. It was the first time I got to introduce myself as a founder, and introduce my company, The Fifth Curve, and introduce my value statement and how I'm trying to contribute to the Black maternal health space. It was like a pinning ceremony for me. It was like this day full of information and celebration and collaboration and communication, all the Asians, all the good positive Asians I can think of. It was that type of environment. I think what was most valuable to me was being there and collecting contacts and the 6 pages of typed notes I had. Okay, 6 pages of typed notes. It was in a hospital classroom, an auditorium. So, college style with the chairs with the desk attached. And so I brought my laptop and my heating pad. Baby, when I break out that heating pad, I'm in for a good time. All right. I can be there for a long time and a good time if the temperature is right. So I knew when I broke out my little blanket and my heating pad, I was like, oh, I'm comfy. I'm settled in, baby. I'm ready to learn, ready to work. Whatever it is that you need of me to do, I can do it because I'm comfortable. And I broke out my laptop and just started absorbing information. Everything just felt like it was floating at me. And it was just such a wealth of information, from the quotes to the resources to look up to the statistics and the other organizations and opportunities. It was just a wealth of information. And on top of that, the thing that I was not expecting, totally did not come there for that and was not expecting, but it generated more opportunities for me with the fifth curve. And I'm so grateful. I am astounded, not because I doubt myself, but because I don't consider myself I am fully invested. But I wasn't going there for that. I wasn't networking. I wasn't purposely positioning myself to gain connections, to network, and to, pitch myself. But that happened. And I'm so blessed and so grateful and so honored that people in that room saw value in what I do, that they want to connect and continue to grow that relationship, and presented me with opportunities to expand my platform a bit more. That ain't nothing but God, y'all. That is nothing but God. How the opportunity came about, and me being there, and who was there, and what I gained from it, that ain't nothing but God's work. So I'm really excited about all of that. Now, when I left, I had planned on, and I'll try to insert some videos and pictures and stuff from the event, because there was some powerful information shared. And if I don't insert it properly or capture it fully, it should be on my blog, which, by the way, I have a blog. So if you like to read your information versus view it on a screen, audio visual, then you can check out my blog. The link will be in the description. But I'll insert those pictures and videos and my full recap in that blog. But I was saying something before that and I forgot what it was. Oh, so I had planned on recapping and continuing my day in video format yesterday, but I was just so exhausted afterwards. Like, I was physically and mentally tired. So the mental part was just a small part of it, because I was also so hyped. Like, I was just like, yo, this was phenomenal. I'm excited. Teach me more. Give me more. I want to lean into the information. I want to lean into the connections. But my brain was like, baby girl, you forgot to do one important thing. Eat. So before I left, I had my breakfast. I think I showed you guys that in the opening montage. But I had my breakfast, which was great. It's something I'm used to eating. And it filled me up. But I think, 6 pages of notes and learning and interacting, my brain needed those calories and used them all up. And so they served us lunch, but I'm not eating bread and sugar right now. So I couldn't eat the sandwiches that they provided. I had already packed my own little Olipop and my popcorners, chips. So I had that to snack on, but it wasn't enough nourishment. So I think, I just naturally powered down. On top of that, my cycle decided, hey girl, I know you're really excited about the day, but I just want to pop in and say, hey. And I was expecting, according to my tracker, which has been pretty spot on for the past a year and a half, I was expecting it to come next week. It showed up yesterday. She showed up with her bags and was like, I'm going to settle in for a while. And so day one is always just a lot for me. So I was physically tired. Thank God I did not have cramps. But I was just physically drained. I didn't feel my most comfortable because, you're sitting down in seats and you're on your cycle and you never know when you get up and sit. And thank God I wore all black under my gray little vest thing. So I was a little bit more secure with that. So coming home, and then I had to drive home. The event was an hour and 10 minutes away, which I'm so frustrated about with events as it relates to this space, but quality events in general, because the area where I live, you usually have to drive a bit of a distance to find quality events. Long story for another post, but I did talk about it on my blog, so you can read that there. It's called Black Female in Rural on the blog. So I had to drive an hour and 10 minutes home. I did not have anything but popcorners and an Olipop on my stomach. First day of my cycle, and my brain used all the calories in my body to function for the event. So I came home and I had my leftover Thai food. It still wasn't an adequate portion of food, and some water. So I just didn't have enough calories yesterday to sustain any type of function beyond what I gave that morning. And I prioritized that morning, so I was fine with that. So I'm going to go in and grab some dog food, come back out. I'm not sure if there's anything else I need to tell you about the event. Anything that I'm missing? I don't know, y'all. It was just great. There are some great organizations out here doing some amazing birth work and birth justice and maternal care. And I'm just so excited to get to know these people and know these organizations and be in the same spaces, especially as I'm growing the fifth curve. Like, come on, universe. Come on, God. Just keep raining abundance and sending opportunities my way. I'm ready. Even on my cycle, I'm ready. So I'm gonna go get this dog food and then I will catch up with you guys later. Ciao. Just a quick note, you can lift heavy weights in the gym all day long, but nothing humbles you like lifting a car seat, a stroller, or a 50-pound bag of dog food. I just needed to pop in real quick because I just left the store and spent $22 on a box of tampons and a box of pads. And I am enraged. I am enraged. Maybe it's menstrual rage. I don't know. But I just find it so upsetting. Like, I can't opt out. I can't unsubscribe from the high cost, inflation even, of feminine care products. I just, it's not like I can sit this month out and just be like, well, you know what? I'm just not buying it this month. Girl, what? And do what? And do what instead? And yes, I've used a cup before. My cycle and cups are not compatible. They work sometimes, and in most times, I'm leaving areas looking like a crime scene, right? So cups don't necessarily work for me. They help with cost because they're reusable, and it's a one-time high cost that covers like maybe 6 periods. For me, in my cycle, we use a combination of tampons and pads, and I prefer to use the honey pot. I prefer to go organic. This month, with my financial situation, I had to go back to the more generalized brand of tampons and pads. But to spend like $22 on this stuff, and it's not gonna really carry over to the next month, I am just enraged when it comes to the fact that inflation like carries over to everything, including feminine care products that we can't opt out of, are a part of our feminine wellness. And it's just so disappointing. So disappointing. $22 to literally flush it down the toilet. Well, no, because, not septic safe, but you get the point. Okay, rant over. Okay, so this is a failed vlog attempt, and I kind of knew it would be, mostly because I'm a homebody. I work from home. I like being at home. I enjoy my company, and really where I live, there's really not a lot to do. And I don't mean that as an exaggeration. Like, I'm serious. There's not a lot to do, especially on Mondays. And today is Monday. So as much as I would like to be out and about and sharing my life and things that are going on and observations and all of that, if I do a vlog, it's most likely just going to be either in my she shed workspace or from my home. So I think I'm going to wrap the vlog here. I believe most of what I wanted to talk to you about with the Uniting for Health event that I attended on Saturday, I think I've already discussed in a previous clip. So I'm going to try to do some more vlog stuff another time. I just don't know. I just don't know how it goes. But if I had to wrap this up here and give you some takeaways just based on the past couple of days and what I've experienced, what I've seen, what I know, and how I feel now, I would say, number one, silence those self-limiting doubts. That event, going to that event and how that event even wound up on my radar triggered so many self-limiting doubts. And those self-limiting doubts were surrounding the fact that I'm still in kind of founder mode, not even launch mode. I don't have a product to sell yet. I have a product that I'm going to sell, but it's just not ready yet, right? So everything was screaming, do not go to this event. You don't have a business card. You don't have a product to sell. You're not technically a doula yet. Like, why are you even going? And it's an hour away. You're wasting your time. I had to silence those self-limiting doubts and show up. And when I did that, which isn't something I would typically do, Shannon from 365 days ago would have convinced herself not to show up and would have made it look like the most plausible, logical reasons not to show up instead of saying, hey, these are self-limiting doubts. But because I showed up and pushed past all of that, I got so much value and made so many connections, a lot of which whom I'm following up with today, and they're receptive and they're warm. And I wouldn't have gotten that if I didn't show up. So that's a takeaway. Silence those self-limiting doubts. The other thing is stop looking at everything as a sign or a prevention. Like I said, I think in another clip, my cycle showed up early, way early, and it showed up on the day of the event. So I was completely surprised and unprepared for it. Luckily, it showed up before I left the house. But I would have taken that as a sign not to show up, not to go, right? Because the first day of your cycle as a woman, it's not friendly. It's not fun. And I would have been like, girl, between you not having business cards and not having products to sell and you on your first day of your cycle, stay home. Like, that's a sign to stay home. Girl, not everything is a sign. Some things just happen. You got to push past that. So that's my second thing. Not everything is a sign. Push past that. My third takeaway is you don't need a wingman. I have kind of always, I'm the lone wolf. I move for the most part by myself if it's not with my husband and my children. So going into social settings, I always feel nervous. And it's just more comforting to have someone by your side, someone that you can talk to, that you're comfortable with, you can be yourself with. I didn't have that this time around. And again, that wasn't a sign not to go, and the self-limiting doubts triggered and was like, girl, you don't even know anyone. Why are you going? I didn't know a single person when I walked through that door. A single person. Had never seen a single face in that room before, not even online. And I showed up. And I worked the room to the best of my capacity. I worked the room with intention and purpose. And more importantly, those people found me. You know, I didn't need a wingman. I didn't need the soft introductions. I didn't need someone to kiki with in a corner to make myself feel comfortable and more likable and more approachable. I showed up authentically as me, and it worked. Go figure. It worked. And I think my final takeaway, rest and recover. Your body needs rest. Your body needs recovery. So does your brain after a lot of stimulation. So does your spirit and your soul after a lot of people interaction, especially if you're sort of an empath like me. I took the weekend to rest and recover. And it was fine. I did not push myself to do more, to be more, to show up in these spaces. No, I rested and recovered. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't a massage, a spa. It was me in my frumpy robe and a candle and lounging around in different rooms of the house. Period. I don't even know if I wore a bra. Like, I needed the rest and recovery because everything I had to do to show up Saturday was heavy for me. I loved what happened Saturday, but it was heavy for me. And so I needed to recover from that. On top of, I have a pretty strenuous workout schedule. So my body did need that rest. Rest and recovery is important, it's necessary. You don't need permission for that. You just need to take it. So those are my takeaways as I wrap up this really awkward vlog. So I hope that you like it. I hope that you found some value in the clips that I was able to share this weekend. And I hope that you will come back and join me for another video on another day. Until then, bye.